So you are a productivity expert and the author of the book Getting Things Done. For the uninitiated, what is getting things done?
Getting things done is really defining the best practice of keeping everything out of your head so that you don't have the stress of having it all in here, having a much more objective inventory of all your commitments and everything you need to do. So it just gets for getting things done with a lot less effort when you do that.
So the book came out about 10 years ago or so, and it was, early on, it was embraced by the tech industry. What was that? Was that expected, an expected result?
Kind of unexpected, and on the afterthought, I understand why. The tech folks are just almost as lazy as I am. They love whole systems, and actually what my methodology does is it turbocharges their cool gear.
Yeah.
gives them much better way to make them more productive, all that cool stuff they actually like to work with.
Right. So you mentioned that you're lazy, tech people are lazy. How does getting things done make a lazy person more productive?
Well, if you want to get something done, you want to do it with as little psychic and physical effort as possible. Okay. I do. I wake up in the morning and say, how much easier can I get from here to there? So getting things done is really about not having to rethink anything, not having to have a thought more than once, and being able, with the least amount of effort, to go, what does done look like, and what does doing look like, and where does that happen, and how do I make sure I set it up so I don't have to look for things, don't have to keep remembering about stuff, and don't feel stressed about it. A lot of times, people's attention is distracted by a lot of things they've mismanaged, and what you want is you want to be able to put your attention clearly and freely on what you want, when you want, the way you want, and have a clear head. That's a cool place to be, and that's what this methodology facilitates.
And that gets you to be productive, which is great.
Sure. Well, being productive just means you want to get something done that you want to get done. So if you go on a vacation to relax and you're not relaxed, that's unproductive. But being able to get from here to there and produce stuff with as little amount of energy as possible, that's a lot easier to do when you're concentrated, when you're focused, when you're not distracted.
A lot of people, you know, they get the iPhone, they get their Android phone, they get their BlackBerry, and they say, okay, I'm going to get my life organized and under control. I'm going to download this app. It's going to fix everything. But it's a little more complicated than that, right?
Well, it's not, you know, don't shoot the messenger. You do need a system.
Yeah.
But the real key is you need to make sure you've captured everything and clarified what you're going to do about it, because that creates the content that then goes on these systems.
Right.
You know, most people's lists are, quite frankly, incomplete lists of unclear things. Right. And most people's organization is just rearranging incomplete piles of still unclear stuff. If that's what you're trying to use your smartphone for, good luck. Yeah. Then it'll die just as fast as a paper planner will die, as anything will die. You really need to have it complete so that the psyche then has the payoff of having it being able to relax. And you want to use your intelligence to be making choices off of your options, not to try to remember them. So if you're going to use it and find something that turns you on, that's cool enough to totally invest in it. Because if it's only partially done, you're probably not going to stay motivated to do it.